Azzurro, il pomeriggio è troppo azzurro e lungo per me. Mi accorgo di non avere più risorse senza di te. E allora io quasi quasi prendo il treno e vengo da te. Ma il treno dei desideri nei miei pensieri al contrario va. Good evening, everybody. Buonasera. No, buongiorno, Italia. This is Rainer Rainier Books, and I was tagged by Brian. Thank you very much, my friend, for tagging me for this beautiful tag. It's the Rome Book Tag. That was created by Jim at Jim Books Reading and Stuff, our friend from Georgia, from the beautiful city of Tbilisi in Georgia. Yes, and Italy is one of my favorite countries. I have many favorite countries actually, but Italy is definitely one of them. The food, the music, I grew up with Italian music, with like Gianna Nannini and Alice, and I also love the music by Ligabue, who's one of the great rock stars, if not the greatest rock star in Italy. In his 50s now, I think, the guy. So not maybe for the young people, but when you see, Ligabue playing at his great concerts in Bologna, where he's come from the Bologna area. It's really great music, a lot of guitars, a lot of rock and roll. Great music. So that's Italian music, Italian food, Italian history. But now we come to the prompts of the Rome Book Tag. And now it gets a little more problematic. The first prompt is, what was the last book you read set in Rome? Or, what is your favorite book set in Rome or Italy? This gets me really on a wrong foot. I haven't read so much books that play in Italy. Not so many books by Italian authors. So I thought about the play by William Shakespeare that I read when I was in school many years ago, or some years ago. And the play was called Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, with this famous sort of monologue by Antony, when he says, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears." That was probably Julius Caesar, because I actually found out, no, I haven't read, but this really inspires me to read books now set in Rome or set in Italy. The next question is, do you have a favorite book in translation? No, I don't. I don't have a favorite book in translation. And here we talk about, English in English translation. I think that mentioning the last year of my reading, when I look back recently, more or less a couple of months only, I was totally fascinated by Mieko Kawakami's third book, which is called All the Lovers in the Night. Have you read any writers of the Roman Empire? Yes, I have. I had to, actually, and I wasn't so happy about it. When I went to school in Germany, in Mönchengladbach, the beautiful city, we had to read De Bello Gallico by Julius Caesar, which is about the Gallic Wars. I think we had to do it more in terms of not discussing the literary quality of it, but to learn the language, learn all the casus of that language and the vocabulary. And we hated it, or I hated it definitely at the time. So the Bello Gallico, the Gallic Wars, was something that I read. Number 4 question, have you read books in other languages? Yes, of course, because English is not my first language, it's not my native language. My native language is German, so I started reading books in German, obviously, when I was a kid. And then I also read books in Swedish since I moved to Sweden. The number 5 question here is, do you have favorite movies set in Rome? And I actually found out also, thinking about this, that I haven't seen so much movies that were set in Rome. One movie I remember from my childhood, and that is something directed by William Wyler and starring super Hollywood stars Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn. And the movie is called, I think it's called Roman Holiday, where Audrey Hepburn plays a princess, and she comes to Rome and is a very secretive princess of a country that nobody had heard about, but fictitious country. And then Gregory Peck is a journalist. He gets an exclusive interview, and I think they fall in love and marry happily ever after, the kind. But it's it's a nice comedy, romantic comedy of the 1950s. What is your favorite Italian car? Is prompt number 6. I am not a driver. I haven't got a driver's license. Italy is very famous for its beautiful cars and for its very expensive cars. They have Maserati, they have Lamborghini, they have Ferrari. So the next question is 7. Many of Shakespeare's plays were set in Italy. Do you have a favorite? Yes, I have. Play is, of course, Romeo and Juliet, although the end, well, it's not a very nice end, right? Do you have a favorite Italian writer? As I told you, I haven't read so many Italian books. It should have been Leonardo Sciascia or Julius Caesar. So I realized when I did the tag, when I prepared for the tag, I have to read Italian books. I have actually one Italian book on my shelves, which is by an author I think that many people right now love from Italy. And she debuted in 1992. She's from Napoli in Italy. And of course I'm speaking about Elena Ferrante. And her book, which I have in Swedish here, is called De vuxnas lögnaktiga liv. I will tell you in a future video about Italy, the Italian author, the Italian book that I'm going to read very soon. Of course, there's Italo Calvino, who's a very famous author. I haven't read of him yet anything, sorry. The next question, do you have a favorite Italian dish, or what is your favorite pizza topping? But the best thing in Italy, and now we get to question number 10 almost directly, is ice cream, gelato called in Italian. Have you ever been to Rome? And Brian, I think, said one of the reasons why he thought tag Rainer is because he might have been in Rome because he's from Germany and lives in Sweden. And yes, 5 points for you here. I've been to Rome. I've been to Rome 3 times actually. The first time I was in 2006, my God, 17 years ago. And then twice in the 2010s. Once again, twice on a business trip, and then in 2016 I went with my daughters to Italy. We went to Rome, to Roma Fiumicino, the airport in Rome, and made our way north from Rome to Firenze and then to Milano. It was a beautiful time in Italy. It's a beautiful country. You shouldn't actually go there in the middle of the summer because in July and August and even in early September it's so hot. If you like it hot, like 35, 38, 39 degrees, and 40 maybe even now with climate change, then go in the summer, but don't go there if you can go a little bit later or a little bit earlier. May would be a great month now, and even October must be a great month to go to Italy. But I want to tag 4 other accounts, 4 other channels. I tag Gemma of Gem of the Books, Alice of Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, Jack the Ramblin' Raconteur, and Shelly at Shellyish. Subscribe to the channel if you're not doing this already, and like the video because every interaction is good for this channel. I want to bring you more content. Thanks you very much. Have a great weekend. Arrivederci Roma. Goodbye, goodbye to Rome. City of a million moonlit faces, city of a million warm embraces, where I found the one of all the faces far from home. Arrivederci.